Boy, oh boy, do I have a treat for you. I have been to two conferences in the last week, speaking to two different audiences, of course, about measurement and evaluation. What else? And I discovered something really interesting. You might think that learning leaders and learning professionals would have unique challenges and questions about measuring and evaluating learning. In fact, one of the biggest challenges experienced by anybody in the HR, L&D, combined talent development sector, what are we supposed to be measuring? If we don't know what we're supposed to be measuring, then how are we going to measure it? So I have a really fun flowchart that I've prepared for you. So this flowchart actually came out of the live community of practice conversation that we had today. It is a few simple questions and a fun journey that will take you to what your metrics should be or could be even. Now, they will involve you doing a little bit of legwork, and let me show you what that looks like. So let's zoom in. Here's our age-old question. What should I be measuring? Most leaders really aren't measuring anything, and they really wish that they could be or would be. And they probably would really appreciate, if you're an individual contributor, offering some solutions and ideas on what we could be measuring. So whether you're an individual contributor, or you are a leader of a team, or you are a team of one, and I've been there for many, many years. I hope that these steps will be simple for you to follow and give you some indicators of what it is that you should be measuring, and a bonus, give you an idea of how your current coaching, training, or development initiatives are aligned with those things that you should be measuring to make sure that we're aligning our learning and the business. Okay, let's get started. What is the mission or the purpose of our business? So if you're a nonprofit organization, more than likely it's a mission that you're going to be looking for. And if you're a for-profit business, then you're probably going to be looking at what drives this business. What are they in business for? What are they selling? Or what are they serving? And what does that look like? So if you don't know the answer to that question, go ahead and ask your immediate supervisor, and I'm sure they can give you the answer. And you're going to write that down in box A, which I'll show you that in just one moment. Once you get that detail, don't go any further until you've got that detail clear. Next, we want to know, what are the three most important indicators that your business looks at to know whether or not they're meeting their goals? Once you get that done, go to the next question. And this one is the one that is often overlooked. It is the performance question. This is where HR, L&D, coaching, we have the most influence over people's performance. And that's where we can have the biggest contribution to the business's goals. So the question then is, what are the three key ways that people in our organizations support those primary business goals through their performance? Don't overlook this step, because this is critical for getting toward those metrics. Then, your final question, last question, I promise. This one is a really important one too. What training and development initiatives do you currently have that are supporting your business's performance priorities? So we've got this list of priorities in terms of the performance that we want to see people doing. Well, how are our current training, coaching, or mentorship programs all supporting those key performance needs? That's the map that we want to create. So remember, I told you box number 1, what's the mission or purpose of our business? You're going to fill that out in box number A. Then we want to break down from our mission, what are the main indicators that our business leaders look to know if they're on track or not? Those things can be our sales numbers, they can be things like customer satisfaction scores, or they can be things like retention of employees. Maybe they're a service-based business and we want to have the most qualified consultants on the team, because that's how we offer our best service, is by having the best people, and we want to retain them. Maybe that's one of them. Now, we want to look at the relationship between those key business indicators and the performance. Now, there could be a million different ways that people can perform to support the business goal. let's just take a stab at getting 3 of what we think are the most important ones. So if it's sales, because of course sales is the easiest example to use. If it's sales is one of those key performance or those key indicators of business health, well, what are the ways that people's performance would be supporting our sales goals as a business? Those can be things like number of phone calls that people have with prospective customers. That could be things like how well are we retaining our existing customers? So how many months or years are we retaining our existing customers? Because retention of customers drives sales also. Maybe it's affiliates. How well are people promoting the affiliate partnership? That also drives sales. So again, these things would be observable, trackable performance activities or outputs that people are doing that drive that main business goal. So you don't have to have it right, but we just want to map this out because this is what's going to help us see what should we be measuring, and more importantly, and this goes to our last frame, what are those learning and development initiatives that we can influence, that we can produce, that we can improve the quality of, that we can eliminate if it's not necessary and a waste of resources? What are the ways in which we as learning and development professionals and leaders can influence the performance of people? Again, those outputs and activities that they need to be doing to contribute to the business goals. So it's a lot, but these are the things that give us our metrics. So if I go back to our very first frame, the end of this journey is here. What should you be measuring are listed in sections B and C of this flowchart. So remember, section B, what are the main indicators of the business to know if the business is on track or not? And section C are those performance, those activities, those contributions that people make to support the business goals. Those are our metrics. So now that you've got your map, you've got a starting place to get some answers to these questions. What should we be measuring? I hope you enjoy. And this journey is not something that you have to do alone. That is what our community of practice is for. If you take on this mapping exercise, if you have these conversations with your supervisor, your team, or your stakeholders, let us know how it goes. These YouTube videos are meant to be collaborative and supportive for you. So feel free to share comments or questions. And of course, if you ever want to join us live to share, to commiserate, to get some new ideas and to get some solutions, the link to join our live community of practice meetings every Monday, Eastern Time. You have that link there in our notes below. I hope you find this helpful. Let me know how it goes and stay tuned for next week's micro learning video. We'll see you then. Bye.